goodness, you guys. My family and I had the scariest moment in our lives. Very unexpected. Still a real shock. And just, it's mind-blowing. My family and I were in a car accident 3 days ago, January 20th. 8 days away from my birthday. We were actually heading about 15 minutes from our house towards where I used to stay with my brother and sister-in-law, and there was actually a house up in that area we were just gonna go kind of check out and drive by and look into. And literally exactly 10 minutes from leaving our house, we got T-boned. And yeah, it was just so unexpected. That day was a decent day, and we're just kind of going with the flow, and I was planning on going to work and stuff and meeting with a friend, a loved one, and I'm like, oh, me and my family are gonna go drive up this area, and it was just straight north from us. And yeah, this guy, we had the right of way. I was driving, and my husband was in the front passenger. Our 9-year-old daughter was behind him in the back seat, and my 13-year-old son was behind me. And I was just talking about my loved one and things like that. And I noticed this silver car was like coming up real quick, and they had a stop sign. They were on a side street, and I was just thinking in my head, he's going really freaking fast. And right then I'm like, he's not stopping. And I just started screaming, and I cranked the wheel just to the left to try to get out of the way, and boom, freaking hit us real hard. I was going like 45 miles per hour, and he was going 35 to 40 miles per hour. And looking back on it now, he literally looked like a body behind the wheel. Like soulless. He literally looked just like a body driving a vehicle. He didn't brake whatsoever. I'm 99% sure he's under the influence. And I asked in my head, are we gonna die? And I instantly heard in my head, oh no, 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 in a male's voice. And I seen white and gold light, and I felt all this warmth, and I instantly was like, okay. I believed what I was told. And the car stopped. We got pushed off the road into the bushes over this barbed wire fence with these wooden posts. And we stopped, and all this smoke and dust we were breathing in, and I remember just trying to crank my door open to get out, and me and my daughter were just screaming, and I was the only one to get a door open. So I got out, and my son and my husband got our daughter out. Then my son got out, and then my husband got out. I got out, and I was trying to rip open my son's door, and it wouldn't open. And so we all got out, and once we all got out, I walked up to the road, and I was instantly limping. I instantly felt pain in my right hip pelvis, and I was just like trying to wave down traffic. And I look over to the silver car that hit us. He was facing, we were going west, he was going south, and he ended up facing east, and we were still facing west. And I looked at that vehicle, and I was so mad that I'm just like, get the out of the vehicle, you know, I'm like, get the out. And then I'm like, instantly, like, I don't see any movement. So I just started walking over to the vehicle on their passenger side, and I looked in their window, and I seen that man just sitting there unconscious, his airbag deployed, and I thought he was dead. And there was some men who stopped some traffic, and I'm like, I don't know if he's all right. And my son was trying to get 911 on the phone for me on his phone, and in the middle of all that, I looked back in on him, and I watched him take this big, huge, deep breath, and he came to it, and he looked straight at me, and I just went like this, and and I bowed a couple times. I'm like, okay, he's coming to, and I'm just trying to give detail to the dispatch, and I see this car coming up, and I'm like, that looks like our realtor's vehicle. Sure shit, it was. And I'm like waving her down, and she's like, she had to take a double take. And I'm like, yeah, it's us, you know. And she stops and gets out, and she's like, what the just happened? I'm like, this guy T-boned us. And I'm just trying to give details to the dispatch. She helps our daughter and son, and puts our daughter in her vehicle in her back seat, and trying to calm her down. And while I was on the phone with dispatch, all these other vehicles just start showing up out of the blue, stopping. There's shit all over the road. And I looked at the freaking stop sign, the side street, and what street we were on. 4,000 north, 4,000 west. And my husband called my brother, and the guy came and walked up to me and was asking if we were okay, and I kind of just like blocked him out and trying to just talk to the dispatch. And I was walking around his vehicle giving license plate numbers and everything, and he came up to me again asking if we were okay, and he looked like he was like 45 to 50, and he looked higher than a kite. And I'm like, you're high, dude. And he's like, no, I'm not. And he got in his vehicle trying to get a cigarette, and I'm like, oh, I fucking know. And just still on the phone with dispatch, and they dispatched 2 ambulances. There was like 4 sheriff deputies that showed up. My brother hauled ass over, and just so in shock, you know, and just trying to get details. And ambulance checked out our daughter and me, my son, my husband, and just blown away. All the community, the people in the community who were able to stop helping us and making sure we're all good and everything. And my brother ended up taking us to the ER. We all got checked out. The other man went to the ER. His neck hurt really bad, and some woman actually showed up and was checking on him when they were hauling him into the ambulance across the street, and she said his name, and I'm like, okay, well, at least I got his first name. That's all I was able to get during that time. And we left our licenses with the deputies, but we knew they were heading to the hospital anyway, so they ended up, I told the deputies to test that guy because I knew he's under the influence, and they're like, oh yeah, well, for sure, you know, just reassuring us, oh yeah. And so just looking at our vehicle was really hard. I love that car. I manifested that car, you know, and we had it for 14 months, and I even named it Pearl, you know, and just leaving that car behind and completely totaled. I remember when still in the vehicle before I got out here, and all those tires, the air coming out, just shh, car shut down. My phone, my husband's work phone, called dispatch right away when it happened, and so we ended up going to the ER. Yeah, so far no broken bones, just real hurt, bruised up. We had headaches, you know, our ribs and just all that stuff. And we had my brother bring us back home, and we were just blown away. Just blown away. And what's crazy is the night before, we had an owl visitor at the house. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard an owl in forever. So I went outside and I was videoing, trying to video it and record it and take pictures. And the stars were just beautiful. It was such a cold night. So cold. We just had a new moon, so there was no moonlight, so the stars were bright and that owl hooting. And when I was taking pictures of the stars, I seen this bright, light yellow, greenish colored light out of the corner of my eye, and I hurried to look, and it was like pulsing, and it was bigger than any of the stars, and it was flying, and it just pulsing and flickering, and it got all squirrely. Like when it was falling or flying, it got all squirrely, like it almost did a couple circles before it vanished. And I'm like talking to my daughter, I'm like, look, and she just missed it, and I just barely missed it when I was taking videos and pictures of the stars, just barely. And it was in the direction of where we got in an accident. I just missed it.
What was it?
It was a green light. You didn't see that?
No. Where did it turn on?
Babe. Oh my God. I just fucking seen this bright ass green light, and it just started right here, and then it like was almost circling and also falling at the same fucking time. Just right here. A bright greenish yellow color. I don't think I got it on camera. Dude, that was a freaking trip.
There's a lot of people living.
Oh, I wish I got that on camera. Go in, honey.
Why?
Because it's cold and it's late. Damn it, I wish I got that on camera. That was fucking weird. I'm just out here listening to the owl, taking pictures of the stars. And I seen that bright greenish yellow light. And it did a circle twice while falling over that way. Man, I just seen it in the corner of my eye. The owl's over here on that pole. Dude, that was freaking nuts. Man, I wish I got that on video. I was close to getting it. I'm gonna have to check. And that was just the night before. So that's just crazy, you know, and like it's not super shocking to me and my family to see something. We live very near Skinwalker Ranch and all this phenomena, you know. We've seen things in the sky before and paranormal stuff and all these things, but that was just the night before. And yeah, literally leaving from our house at 4:43 p.m. and the accident happened at 4:53 p.m.
Oh shit! The other car's in the other fucking bushes.
Just mind-blowing, you know. And the next day, tracked down where the vehicle was because it got towed, and we went to see it, and it was so sad just to see our car like that. But we are so impressed on how that car kept us safe. We thought we were gonna roll. We didn't. The airbags didn't cause us major damage. We're just like, wow, that car did its job. That car handled that hit like a freaking champ. I would get another one. It's a Toyota Highlander. And we're just amazed. We didn't roll or anything. And so we went to go get things out of the vehicle and take more pictures and stuff. And I still had my turtle, my 3D printed turtle, sitting on my dash intact. Her name's Indy. It was still sticking on the dash, just like that. And all my stuff was still hanging from the rearview mirror. Actually, this was on the floor. The star, it's a tarot card, Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius. These are cedar beads. Our really good family friend's fiance made. She actually passed away in a vehicle accident a few years ago, but she made these. These were still hanging from my rearview mirror. The cedar beads right here. And I still had this hanging. My feather, I forgot I had in my car. My feather was laying on top of my dash when we got to the tow yard. I found a ring, my thumb ring I thought I lost months ago. It says, hand in hand into the ocean blue. So that was my thumb ring forever. All these little rocks. I had a couple little pieces of Utah selenite that we found in my car. And then these rocks came from St. George, Utah. Some of these sparkly little crystal quartz in them. We just got those like a couple weeks ago when we took a trip down there. And then I completely forgot that I had these two stones in my car, and they are completely intact. This one came from my aunt. It's an orange selenite, still intact. And this one is a green actinolite for psychic protection. I think it got a good scuff right here. But my aunt told me about these, and I ended up getting myself one completely intact. And then I had this on like my blinker switch, this on my blinker switch. I love the world. This one says empower. This one came from a loved one that I was gonna go visit that day, and I didn't. I think it's all copper, but it says Detail Builder Visionary 22, infused with positive energy technology. Alex and Annie, there's a heart shaped as a USA flag. And then this other symbol on here, copper symbol. that was hanging on my blinker switch. I had this hanging on, I think, my light switch. It says she believed she could, so she did. And there's a little pearl gem and a heart. My car's name was Pearl. And then I had this little snowflake decoration that I hung as well, that I found on a walk one day. And then this pearl bracelet. It's crazy. And then still from my rear view mirror, I had my eagle. There's some gems missing. My husband has one too, different colors. And my Bigfoot. All of that was hanging from my rearview mirror. And then this was hanging off the passenger door where it still hit, but barely missed my husband. The vehicle hit the front fender firewall on the passenger front side, where the strongest part of the car. And this limited, because it was a limited edition, was hanging, so I snagged that. And just my little, oh, there's still glass in there. Then my little trash bin, my tire pressure gauges. And so I grabbed all this stuff. I'll definitely put pictures up, but I'm just like, if I was just going a little bit faster or a little bit slower, that guy would have wrecked all on his own. All on his own. He would have went straight through the stop sign, across the road, and down into the bushes and in the dirt. Nobody was in front of us. Nobody was behind us. Nobody was coming the other way. And we're in the middle of nowhere. It was exact, perfect timing. And no broken bones that we know of. My husband and I actually went back into the walk-in clinic yesterday because my ribs hurt real bad in my back. And we never scanned that at the ER. We just scanned my hip at the ER. My hip looked fine. And so they still need to look for small fractures. So I should be hearing back sometime. And then my husband's left knee is completely swollen and he's limping. And they never scanned him at the ER, so we wanted to scan his knee. So we should hear back, but he might have to get an MRI. And I might too. I don't know yet, but luckily we had no idea if the guy had insurance or not. And I found out today that he did. He does. So that's good, you know. And so we just started all that process and everything. Said goodbye to our vehicle. Oh, I love that car. Anyway. Oh, I forgot to mention the guy looked like he was like 45 to 50 and looked like hell. Turns out he's 3 years younger than me. He literally looked like he was 45 or 50. So my belief is that he was on like fentanyl or something. Literally looked that old. Not just to me, but to all of us. He's freaking 3 years younger than me. It's crazy. I'm just amazed. I think I had a small concussion as well. That our kids were safe and so surreal. Just a blink of an eye. You know, all I could do was just try to swerve out of the way and scream. But I think if I didn't turn to the left, we would have rolled for sure, you know. I do. And so, what a crazy time. And I feel like it all happened for a reason. I feel like it was definitely like guided. We were divinely protected, and there's meaning to it. Like, I don't feel really worried. I don't really feel mad like that an idiot, you know what I mean? What a damn idiot. But like, I'm glad he's okay, and from what I know, and I'm glad we're okay. But I feel like it was like this sacrifice, and I wonder, and I look back and I'm like, what if we saved his life? Because he would have wrecked on his own. He was in a little tiny car. You just gotta wonder, you know? And so we're just so incredibly lucky in ways that we might never understand, and just so glad we're all okay. And I just wanted to share my experience and how blessed I am, how blessed my family is. And how protected we were. I just never seen it come in, really. And like my readings that I was doing for the collective was talking a little bit about that incident. And going back to listen and watch, it's like, oh, wow, you know, just mind-blowing. And so I just don't know what else to say. I'm just happy to be here. And I'll share some photos and things like that. So thank you guys so much for all your support and listening, and just open to listen to miracle stories and the prayers, you know, for me and my family, and just happy to still be here. So I'm sending abundant love and light. So be it, so it is. And I will see you guys in the next videos. I hope anyway. All right, bye.